Japan versus Nigeria is officially over, and the start of the Japan versus France game is soon approaching. With that being said, here are all the takeaways that I got from Japan versus Nigeria and how that will carry over into the game versus France. Additionally, how I think Blue Lock will fare against France and what I hope to see from France in this upcoming game. So in the game versus Nigeria, Japan proved that they were the superior team, showing us that the NEL worked and that they can play on the world stage. And with the 4 goals that were scored by Rin, Isagi, Bachata, and Reo, they evolved to a certain extent, all of which I'm certain we haven't seen the full extent of. Bachata evolving his dribbling through teaching kids, Reo Mikage using his copy ability more accurately. Side note, this one being kind of the outlier, there's no backstory to justify it, he can just do that. Copying both Bachata's dribbling and Chigiri's 44 Panther snipe. His entire arsenal in general completely a mystery and could be elaborated on in the France game. With Rin being able to score by giving himself over to pleasure. Realizing that both Isagi and Sai are basically what's keeping him back. And that can't be his only motivator when it comes to scoring. Which also prompts a different evolution of his destroyer aura. Something, just like with Reo's copy skill, can be elaborated on going forward, as we've not seen the full extent of any Blue Lock player after this game. And that exact same thing can be said about Isagi. We understand now that he's trying to understand the curiosity to himself to evolve further. Even after this game and after that goal, it's only scratching the surface. He mentions he's going to experiment more on himself as the games go on. As crazy as it sounds, knowing what these Blue Lock players can produce based off of the NEL, this game didn't really do much of anything. The game did something, but it didn't push them to the highest extent to evolve even further than they already did. If anything, it could have been from here to here, but instead went to right here. That being because they're just that much better and Nigeria never stood a chance. Again, proving that the NEL had a massive effect on these players. Something Nigeria could not fathom. And guess what? To no one's surprise, the score shows that. Now, on to the mystery that is France. This upcoming game in the group stage is probably going to be the most interesting and toughest game that Blue Lock has had to play. Not only do they have Loki, the child prodigy, the one that no one can stop because he's just that fast, and the individual that we still know next to nothing about in terms of abilities other than his speed. They have a well-rounded passer known as Charles, who also played in the NEL. We know exactly how skilled he is. They also have the unknown New Gen 11 player on their team. 3 powerhouses that are going to be a problem for Blue Lock. And word around the block is next chapter titled Cola is the name of the New Gen 11 player in France. Don't quote me, I'm not sure if that's the case, but if it is, interesting. Unlike Nigeria, whenever France has this kind of lineup right here, they're going to actually mean it. They are going to mean business. And what other players will be relevant for France, I do not know. But I'm certain it's going to be more than just those 3. This game versus France is going to be unpredictable. Every chapter will be something new that I won't even be able to predict. Even if it is halfway through the game, anything could happen. But the biggest thing is counteracting Loki's speed. It's going to be either Zantetsu or Chigiri indefinitely on the field, canceling him out altogether, if that's even possible. As for Charles, we have individuals like Bachata, Hiyori, and Kyoto who are able to counter how he goes about doing things. Not to mention the defense on Blue Lock isn't anything to sneeze at. For instance, Aiku being able to kill Awakenings based off of his game versus Nigeria, specifically against Onazi. Even Nico with his newfound strength and core unable to be moved, even at such a small size. Audio perfecting man-to-man coverage using judo. All of these, mind you, can be elaborated on further within the France game. And that's not even accounting the other players that will be on the field in this upcoming game. Some of the players who are benched will probably be starting, and some that were starting before will be benched. It really depends on the formation and how France plays. That all being said, the only issue is the New Gen 11 player. We don't know anything about him. We don't know what his skill is, what his specialty is. That's completely up in the air. It's a mystery. That right there on top of Loki will be the defining factor that either wins or loses this game for Japan. Which is why I keep saying this game could go either way. I'm really curious to know what happens leading up to this game and how it will play out knowing that anything can go. But I want to know from you. Do you think France will win, or do you think Blue Lock will come out victorious? What will the score be? How will it play out? I want to know.